あ、シド、早くデートだ。デート、デート、デート、デート、デート。
わかったから。とにかくその格好じゃ目立つ。着替えてくれないと。
Well, hi there, it's me, Hitomi. Yep, it's been a little while since the last time I spoke to you. But first off, I wish you a Merry Christmas afterwards. I hope you had a great time with your family and loved ones. And well, this is also the last video I'm making in the year 2021. So I also wish you a happy new year. Okay then, today's video is more or less actually a remake of one of my oldest videos here on this channel. Today I'm going to take an in-depth look into Origami Tobiichi's character writing. What are her characteristics, her weaknesses, her need, her character arc in general, etc. But before that, I must say something. Well, what should I say? Currently, I'm not doing so fine. My body is alright, don't you worry, but my mind is pretty full, so I apologize in advance if I should sound off here and there sometimes. What do you say? Let's get started. Let's start off with the bare basics. There are 3 typical character arcs in writing that we know of: the positive change arc, the negative change arc, and the flat character arc. Of course, there also can be some variables working under one of those 3. Hitomi, for example, is a so-called anti-hero, which loosely means in regular cases an anti-hero has character traits similar to the main character with one major difference. Something we can identify ourselves within the MC's character is something we can view as a weakness, which makes us sympathize with the anti-hero. With Shido and Kurumi, this is demonstrated wonderfully. Shido's greatest strength is to give others a feeling of hope, a chance to start over, and his selflessness. With Kurumi, on the other hand, those are all character traits she just simply can't pull off. Not because she wouldn't want to, but if she, for example, wants to start over or become selfless, she might running into danger, risking everything she was working towards in the last 30 years. On the other hand, we as a viewer want Kurumi to be happy, and therefore we project our wish onto the main character. We project a wish for Kurumi to be happy onto Shido, since he has the ability to change people. This is also the reason why anti-heroes are mostly written with much more in-depth than other characters, and for the most part have the best character design and powers. Well, and yeah, this was just one variable of all the character types out there. Like I said, the 3 main types are positive change, negative change, and flat character. The positive change arc describes a character which is developing over time. The most known term here is progression through struggle. Like the character in question has a lie he clings on since his debut. It normally takes a long amount of time and influences from the outside to let the character give up his old lie and accept a new truth. On the way, the character begins to question his beliefs and facing his fears, and at the other hand coming out as a more complete person. The negative change arc is well, actually the positive change arc, but flipped on its head. The negative change arc has the goal to turn the character evil. The character ends up in a worse state than in which he started. This arc hinges on the lie the character believes, meaning to reinforce the character's already bad beliefs he holds on so tightly. In daily life, there isn't any character undergoing such an arc though. And at the end, the flat character arc describes a character which doesn't undergo a big change into the negative or positive. Instead, this type of character already has his truth. He already knows who he is and what his role in this world is, and therefore he doesn't change by himself, but instead changes people and the world around him. In daily life, this character type is used for Shido Itsuka. Alright, this was my little crash lesson for character arcs, and now that we have a grasp understanding of character arcs, let's go to Origami's character arc. Let us start off with Origami's personality. She gets introduced in the daily life light novel in volume 1 and in the anime directly in episode 1. At first she looks like your ordinary smart silent girl with not much substance, but the anime wastes no time to make clear that Origami is one of the main characters aside from Shido and Toka. Something we immediately notice when meeting her in the anime is that she shows no emotions at all. You could say she's just an empty shell of a person. She never laughs, she never smiles or grins even. Origami hates spirits over everything and thinks the only way to make up for her parents' death is to destroy every single spirit. That is the lie Origami believes and holds on since she is little. Her weakness is her inability to form proper social bonds to people that she is in contact with. Because of this, Origami is a more one-on-one combat soldier, which often brings herself into situations that for the most part make her suffer even more, and making decisions which sometimes backfire completely. So in short, Origami's need is to finally let the past West and accept the death of her parents to finally show emotions and feelings again, which would help her to not rush into overwatched decisions that bring consequences for her and all the people she involves in her decisions. And now take a look at this. Thanks Kadokawa. Kadokawa blocked my original video because I used the scene where Origami had this nightmare with her parents dying in front of her eyes and all from episode 2 of the anime, and because of that the original video was, well, blocked everywhere, so I had to cut that out, so please don't wonder why I'm talking about the scene now. This scene right here is freaking goddamn important for Origami's development over time. It communicates to the viewer that Origami is haunted by the death of her parents, which happened right in front of her eyes, showing us that this caused a trauma in Origami that never will go away completely. It also provides reason why she hates and despises spirits this much and wants to get rid of them, which we as a viewer can sympathize with. This scene sets up the character development she will undergo in 3 full seasons. In the most part of season 1, Origami is fighting off the spirits for her personal reasons and gain. This is shown perfectly with Origami not hesitating to use any weapons and tactics no matter how dangerous they might be. But we also can see that Origami is left conflicted with the fact that Shido works with the spirits instead of against them. She even once tried to talk his actions out of him since she worries about his well-being, which communicates to the viewer that Origami indeed has feelings and emotions, but doesn't show it at all. Here we have to mention that Origami views Shido as a replacement for her parents, meaning that she tries to fill the gap her parents left in her heart with Shido, so basically running away from facing the past and her fears. Yet, her lie and conflicting feelings inside soon lead to various decisions of her which cause one big consequence after the other. In the runtime of season 1, Origami learns about the flame spirit, which she remembers as the murderer of her parents. As soon as she located Kotori and got her hands on white licorice, she threw everything she worked so hard on away in one single moment, just to take revenge on the spirit she thinks is her parents' killer. This again shows us that Origami is for the most part not really interested in protecting people rather than just fulfilling her own personal wants, which can be viewed as arrogant for sure. Although after finding out about Kotori not being the killer of her parents, she starts to slowly change a little bit. In all of season 2, Origami shows herself more cooperative and helpful, even at least a little bit. She even becomes a close friend to a spirit on a Ruby Island with Yuzuru Yamai. She started to have a friendly relationship, even although Origami didn't knew at the time that Yuzuru is a spirit. Origami even supported Shido and Co once, fighting off an entire DEM legion on her own with light licorice. In all of the second season, we witness how Origami slowly changes her mindset about spirits and starts to even think that she might had the wrong idea about spirits. And this even continues in the first half of season 3. Now Origami even cooperates with Shido and the spirits, knowing that Yuzuru, Kaguya, etc. are spirits. This shows us that Origami definitely changed her mindset about her opinion on spirits and is on the way to befriend herself with them. Yet, it is also clear that Origami's trauma isn't gone yet and still scratches scars into Origami, as Origami is confronted with the opportunity to finally act the way she wants and fight as she sees fit. She goes directly backwards in her character to get her revenge and satisfaction in killing spirits. Some may say that this is a cheap, boring character development to just let the character fall back into his old ways, but it's actually pretty smart. What does this sudden change in Origami tell us? It shows us that Origami knows what she needs, and she knows her way of thinking was flawed. She had the opportunity to reject her old lie and accept a new truth and getting what she needs. But instead, she decided to choose the thing she wants, and ironically, because of this decision becoming the very thing she swore to destroy. But why exactly do I view this as a great twist in her development, you may ask? It's rather simple actually. This wrong decision is part of her development. The world now basically forces her to face the reality she experienced with the spirits. It also communicates that her transformation into a spirit was a direct consequence to her actions. She decides to use again force against the spirits and ends up becoming one herself. Now there is still the time travel she underwent, which made her realize she herself is the murderer of her parents. Now let's go to the alternative timeline Shido created. There we have the result of Origami's development coming full circle and finally making up with her past, accepting the death of the parents, turning over a new leaf and starting to truly love Shido. Alright, so if all that didn't convince you that Origami is indeed a great character within the daily life cast, then I don't know what will. Some may say Origami is a simple character with a predictable ending and not much substance, but then I have to honestly ask you now, what makes Kurumi so special then? Kurumi pretty much doesn't even have a lot of screen time and isn't even shown that she's progressing as a person at all in the show. And no, the novels and all the background stuff of her is irrelevant for the show since none of this was adapted yet. But just to clarify, I love Kurumi just like you all do. I'm just saying that Origami is a great character in her own rights and that her development was shown on screen wonderfully. It doesn't always have to be a super mega complex character. Sometimes a simpler yet still filled with substance and depth does the same job. What do you think about this topic? I'd love to read your opinion in the comments below. And with that being said, Happy New Year! Until next time!